Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I'm a Taylor and I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I share these What's for Dinner videos every Sunday to hopefully motivate you to cook more for your family and give you some new meal ideas. This week we've got some super simple stuff. We even ate out one night, which was not part of the plan, but it happens. We all don't want to cook sometimes. But I hope that you can still find some meal ideas in this video and maybe some motivation to cook more. And as always, any recipes that I mention will be linked in the description box. Now let's go ahead and get into this Sunday's What's for Dinner. Friday night we had some turkey bacon paninis. I saw this Pain Toronto bread at Aldi, and I've never bought it before, but on the tag on the shelf it said panini bread, and usually I would buy like sourdough bread, but I saw that it said panini bread and I was making paninis, so I went ahead and bought this and it was really good. We really enjoyed it and I will definitely buy it again in the future. So I'm just taking the bread and I buttered it on the outsides, and then on mine I did some Dijon mustard, and then I started loading them all up with some sliced turkey. I really wanted to use up this turkey, that's why I decided to make paninis. So I got turkey on there, and then I did 2 strips of bacon on each one, and then some cheese. Elijah asked for Havarti, and then me and Lily had some white cheddar cheese. And then I did some tomatoes on mine with some pepper, and then I put the tops of the bread back on there, and then I transferred the sandwiches to my little panini grill thing. This is a Cuisinart griddler thing, and it has different plates. The other sides of the ones that I'm using are just flat, like griddle ones, and then this can open up flat like a griddle, and then you can use the lid and the base at like the same time. And then I also have the waffle like inserts for it too. I love this thing. It's got so many uses, and I just put the paninis on there for like 7 minutes, and it got nice and crispy, and everything got hot and melty, and they were delicious. To go with them, we had these salt and vinegar chips from Aldi. These are really good. They're like Lay's salt and vinegar chips. And then Elijah had some pickles, and Lily had some pickles and tomato on the side. These paninis turned out delicious. I love doing sandwiches and stuff like that as it gets warmer outside. This was a great, quick and easy dinner. Saturday night we had barbecue pulled pork, baked potatoes. This pulled pork I had in the freezer from a week or 2 ago when I made that Cuban pork in the crock pot, and then I just added some barbecue sauce to it on the stovetop, made some baked potatoes in the air fryer, and then we just made our like potatoes with butter and salt and pepper and all that. Put the pulled pork on top, put some shredded cheese on top, let it melt. That was it. We had some watermelon on the side. This was super easy. And another one of those things that I like to do in the summer because it doesn't heat up the whole house, I make the baked potatoes in the air fryer. And I love using my air fryer in the summer. It's a lot better than turning on the whole oven. Sunday, we went to my Aunt Peggy and her husband Steve's house. They have a pool. We went there a lot last summer, so we had a pool day this day, and I completely forgot to take a picture of my dinner. We had burgers and brats and hot dogs, potato salad, chips, and the only thing that I took a picture of was the salad that I had beforehand. And then I got a picture of the kids and my Aunt Peggy playing sequence, but that was all the pictures that I took. We had lots of fun, and the food that Steve cooked on the grill was delicious. Monday night we had a buffalo chicken quesadillas. I like to do these in the crock pot. So in the crock pot I just have 2 chicken breasts, and then I'm going to add in 1 package of ranch seasoning, and then whatever buffalo sauce you like to use. Part of this was some of the Buffalo Wild Wings medium, and then another part of it was the Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo sauce. I had 2 nearly empty bottles in my fridge, so I just used the last of each of them, and then I put a lid on this and let it cook on low for about 4 hours. And then all you have to do is go in and shred this up. I like to then let it sit in the sauce for just a little bit while I get everything ready, and then I will kind of strain the meat out of that sauce so you don't have too much liquid on your quesadillas, because you don't want a soggy quesadilla. And then I just make quesadillas the way I always do. Put a little bit of butter in the pan, Put a little bit of cheese on one side of the tortilla, add in the chicken, add a little bit more cheese, and just let them cook until they are nice and golden. And then to go with this, we just had some fresh veggies and ranch. We had celery, carrots, cucumbers, and grape tomatoes. Buffalo chicken quesadillas are one of my favorite crock-pot meals. They're easy and delicious. I love like any kind of quesadilla, but buffalo chicken quesadillas are probably one of my favorite. Tuesday night we had some smoked sausage jambalaya. I'm using like box jambalaya rice mix. But I'm starting off with my smoked sausage here. I've sliced it up and I'm going to then start to brown it. At first I thought I wanted them in just like circle slices, but then as I was cooking it, I decided that I wanted them to be half circles. So I went in with my spatula and just kind of like cut each one in half. And then just let them cook until they started to crisp up and brown. And then I'm going to add in 2 boxes of the Aldi brand jambalaya rice and then half a stick of butter. And I'm just going to let that rice like toast up while that butter melts. And then once the butter fully melts, I'm going to add in the water that the box calls for. I believe it was 2.5 cups per box, so a total of 5 cups. So I add that in, stir it around really well, and then I brought this to a boil. And now once it came to a boil, I let it sit there and boil for about 5 minutes. And then after the 5 minutes, I reduced the heat down to low and covered this with a lid and let it simmer for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I just gave it a stir and then just let it sit with the heat off for about 5 minutes before serving up. This was delicious. I feel like you could add some other stuff to it too if you wanted. I do the same thing with like their dirty rice as well. It all turns out good and it's a quick and easy dinner. It's Wednesday and tonight for dinner we ordered Chinese. This was not the plan. I pulled out chicken this morning and I was going to make Pollo Fundido, but we spent the last hour and a half cleaning the kids' room, and after dealing with that with them, we were in like the middle of it and I was like, we're getting hungry, but I don't want to stop what we're doing and cook dinner. So instead I ordered Chinese food. So the kids have some lo mein, and then we also got a ton of chicken on the stick. So we got 2 orders of chicken on the stick, which is like 4 in each order. And then me and Andy's dinners also come with a chicken on the stick each. So we have a total of 10 chicken on the stick. We'll definitely have enough for leftovers tomorrow for lunch, but that's how we like to do it when we order Chinese. If we're going to order Chinese, we like to have leftovers of it as well. And then I got the beef lo mein. And then Andy asked for beef and broccoli with lo mein. I'm not going to open it up. He is not here. He won't be home till late tonight. So I had to call him at work and be like, what do you want from Chinese? And that's what he picked. And then our dinners also come with a soup. So I got egg drop as usual and he got wonton. And then of course they come with the little crunchies. That's going to be dinner for Wednesday. Did not feel like cooking. Was not in the mood. Thursday night we had Pollo Fundido, which if you don't know is like a meal that's popular at Mexican restaurants. It's like chicken covered with cheese dip, refried beans, and Mexican rice. So I like to take my chicken breasts and slice them in half horizontally so they're really thin, and then I seasoned them all over with this Goya Total seasoning. It's like the Badia Complete, but it has cumin in it. So I did that all over the chicken on both sides, and then I'm also heating up some olive oil and a skillet, and that's where I'm going to cook my chicken. And I just got that in there once the oil was hot and cooked it for about 4 minutes per side. And then at that point, if it's not done, you can turn the heat down to like a medium low and put a lid on it and just let it cook until it reaches the proper internal temperature. But for me, because these were so thin, it only took about 4 minutes per side. And then I set them on a cutting board for a few minutes to let them rest, and then I diced them up. And then here is my plate. We've got the chicken covered with cheese dip, a can of refried beans, and then my Mexican rice, which I will leave a link to that video down below. And the cheese dip we are using is the Ponchos, I think is what it is, from Sam's Club. It's pretty good. It's got a little bit of a spice, but we like it. We definitely preferred the El Terrifico one that we used to get at Sam's Club, but they just don't have that one anymore. So we stick with the ponchos that we can get all the time now. But that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I know it was mostly like really simple and easy things, but I hope it still motivated you or you still got some new ideas. If you made it here all the way to the end, make sure you leave me a smiley face emoji in the comments and let me know if you plan on trying any of the dinners that I shared this week. I hope you all have a great week and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.